Hello YouTube, this is Bash bringing you here for week 1. We are up against Mewsthebest and the Colombus. Okay, I'm going to try to do this without actually looking at it. He is the Colombus Colombus Basculine blue striped. No, I can't do this with that. Hold up, give me a second, because his team is, oh my god, it's such a long name. But definitely, I'll go over my team real quick after I figure out this name. If you want more in detail about what his team is, definitely check out what I'm bringing and why I'm bringing it. Definitely check out the team builder, which will be in fact linked below. But his team is the Colombus Basculine Blue Striped Jackets. There we go. So, jeez, that's so long. So my team consists of Megaladios, Suicune, Sylveon, Alolan Muck, Donphan, Conkeldurr, Scizor, Jolteon, Blacephalon, Regirock, and Volibee, with Z captains being Donphan and Blacephalon. His team consists of Landorus, Incarnate, which is allowed to be Sheer Force, Infernape, Thundurus, Scolipede. Then there's also Latios, Mega Tyranitar, Empoleon, Stoutland, Comfey, Tangela, Pineco, and Coughing, with Z captains being Thundurus, Stoutland, and in fact Coughing. So let me go over to the team I'm actually bringing real quick. Of course, we got Assault Vest, Conkeldurr with Mach Punch, Drain Punch, Ice Punch, Fire Punch with Guts. We got Zanzibar, the Donphan, with Iapa Berry with Ice Shard, Earthquake, Knockoff, Stealth Rock. Then we got Megaladios here, really bulky Megaladios with Recover, Thunderbolt, Psychic, Ice Beam. Then we got Slim Shady, the Alolan Muck Assault Vest with Focus Punch, Poison Jab, Knockoff, and Ice Punch. Then we got Riverdale with Leftovers, Rest, Sleep, Talk, Roar, Scald, and Tony Stark's the Scizor with Aqua Berry, Roost, Bullet Punch, U-Turn, Defog. So, looking into this match right now, he's got some, well, look, as I said before in the team proto, probably, his team's very weak to ice, and I'm also very surprised that he did not bring Mega T-Tar. Mega T-Tar was very scary, and it was about the pretty much the only thing that can actually beat Megaladios 1v1, I think. Except for maybe Scolipede, but Scolipede is not switching to Megaladios, so. In that case, I believe I lead with Donphan, or no, I lead Megaladios, because Megaladios is able to deal with everything, and if he leads Scolipede, he's probably going to be a Spikes lead, and I have pretty good ways to answer that right now. Scolipede right now, I could go into Scizor, which could do well against it. And Megaladios leads pretty well against everything else. It's able to take on Landorus as well, so that's what I'm going to lead with. He leads Infernape, which is really good, and I'm just gonna fire off, I believe, a Thunderbolt here. If he's not Scarfed, he's switching here. If he's Scarfed, he's clicking U-turn, and I get off a Thunderbolt on the incoming possible Empoleon here, which I think is pretty obvious that it's coming in. But so that's what I'm gonna go for. As he U-turns, and he does an alright amount, but it shows that he's Scarfed, and he goes on to Comfey. So that's very interesting, because Thunderbolt actually Psychic would actually do a decent amount to this thing, and which was very surprising. I think he made the correct play, I guess. Probably having me overpredict, but on this turn, I was debating whether to go Alolan Muck, Scizor, or just staying in with Megaladios, because if this is not offensive comfy, Megaladios is able to 1v1 this thing. But I want to keep a little Muck around for the Thundurus to keep that healthy to take on the Thundurus, and the Scizor really didn't do too much, I guess, other than get rid of hazards, other than get rid of more or less to deal with Comfey, as well as the it can help with the Scolipede. So I'm gonna go into Scizor here. He makes a great play and goes for Hidden Power Fire, predicting the switch. Pretty obvious switch, to be honest. So it wasn't that it was a good read on his part, but it was kind of blatant obvious, I think, probably on my part, and I probably should have realized that. I believe on this turn I go for the U-turn. I go for the U-turn, yeah, because I don't think he's staying in on here with a bullet punch. Because HP Fire still doesn't take me out based off of the set. He's not offensive Comfey, meaning that I live at HP Fire from here anyway. So I'm going to U-turn, and I believe I go out to Donphan to try to get my rocks here. Because rocks are pretty good against him. He has a Scolipede and a Thunderous and an Infernape taking all this constant chip damage. Comfey is pretty much it's pretty much going to get 2-shot at this point by Megalodius with like Psychic, and I rocks up. Plus, as I said before, Infernape with all the constant U-turning and stuff it's doing with the Choice Scarf, it's not going to want to take the chip damage from Stealth Rocks. Thunderous doesn't like rocks, and so does Scolipede. And Landorus doesn't like rocks really either, but not as badly as the other ones. So I'm going to go for rocks here. He goes for U-turn, does a little bit of damage, and he goes into Empoleon as I get my rocks up. So at this point, I can make I can make a play. I could stay in and click Earthquake, or I could go into my check to this in Conkeldurr. If he goes for Defog, that's alright, but I get a free switch into Conkeldurr at this point, so that's kind of the play here. I go into Conkeldurr as he goes for the Scald. If I got burned here, that would have been absolutely amazing, and at this point, I don't think he's staying in here because Conkeldurr absolutely annihilates this thing. I would be very shocked, and I would not if he was to stay in here, I would not agree with that play. So I'm going to try to make a double out, expecting, I believe, the Comfey to come in, because that I think is a pretty decent switch in right here. But he has the balls to stay in, which I still don't agree about. He goes for the Defog here, as I'm going to have to U-turn here, or I would hard switch out because I don't want to get Skull Burned, because there's a chance he outspeeds with Empoleon. Going to Conkeldurr as he gets up his own rocks. I don't agree about that play at all, staying in on the Conkeldurr, but it works out for him, I guess, and it works out for him. So a little over prediction on my part, but it'll be fine. He does get rocks up against me, which is annoying, but it'll be alright. As he goes into Scolipede, and Scolipede takes a Drain Punch, alright, as it is 4 times resisted, don't forget that, but it's not going to do much to me, as I'm going to click, I believe, Fire Punch here, as he's Life Orb, he's not Z-move, so it's not as scary, and down goes the Scolipede to Conkeldurr, and I believe now he brings in his Comfey, yep, and I can make a play into Scizor, I could go into Lone Muck, or I could sack this thing, or I could probably go Suicune either, too, but I'm going to go into Scizor here. I don't think he's going for the HP Fire again. And he's going to go for the Draining Kiss. And at this point, I'm going to fire off the Bullet Punch. I have a feeling that he might try to stay in here, thinking that he could take me on HP Fire and trying to catch me over predicting again. So that's what I'm going to do. I go with a Bullet Punch. He shows to be a Berry, which is a good, decent bring. He goes to the HP Fire, and down goes my Scizor, which isn't the worst thing in the world, because Megalodios is at this. Well, a lot of my mons could 1v1 this except for Conkeldurr. I bring in a little Muck, and I'm going to pop off a knockoff here. As he goes in an Infernape, which absolutely, I think Empoleon is such an obvious switch in here, but that's even better because now Infernape is not Scarfed, so now the only thing that outspeeds my Megalodios on his team is the Thunderous, and Thunderous can't do too much to it. So I go into Suicune, which is a pretty decent check here at this point, as he fires off a Close Combat, which doesn't do much. 30% from a Infernape is not that amazing. It means so it kind of bounces off Suicune for what an Infernape is, and I'm able to, I believe, do I go for a Scald or Rest? It's been a while since this match happened, but he goes for the U-turn. I believe I went for the Rest. Or go for the Scald. I would have taken out Infernape here and possibly getting burn on something would have been nice, but nope, we don't get the burn. And I'm going to just rest here, get myself back up to a higher health here with the Infernape here. Being able to take that thing out, and he's going to Roar me. So I know his entire moveset now. Stealth Rocks, Defog, Scald, and Roar. Very interesting set, but I get a free Roost here, a recovery here, as Comfey comes in. And I'm backed up to like 99%, and I could go into a Alolan Muck here. This thing doesn't do anything to a Alolan Muck at all. The worst thing he can do is probably Leech Seed or something like that, but even then, it's alright. I'm going to fire off a Poison Jab, thinking he might try to stay in, but he makes the correct play into Empoleon, and I'm gonna go into, I believe, Suicune here, predicting the Scald or the Roar, because Suicune's able to take this and it's not really gonna do anything. And at this point, I'm gonna try to sleep talk the Roar, I believe. No, oh wait, sorry, I'm trying to get ahead of myself. It's been a while since I did this battle, but I'll go into Suicune as I said, and he goes for the Scald. And because I'm asleep, I'm expecting him to think that he's going to be pretty safe to go into Thunderous here, and I'm going to make the double out to Mega Latios. And I know that Empoleon can't touch Mega Latios anyway, so like it's pretty safe here. And I go to Mega Latios here. He makes the double into Thunderous here. So we make that right play, and now we're in a really good position as I could pretty much two-shot this thing. As he goes for a nasty play, and I'm going to go for a Psychic, fire it off, get off a good amount of damage. This puts us in range of Ice Shard from Donphan, so that's really good to know. And I'm going to Roost here, predicting the Z move to come out, but he shows HP Ice. I'm going to recover that off, and at this point I'm going to go for another Psychic here, as he's going to make a play into Comfey, predicting the switch, probably into Conkeldurr, which he does get correctly, as I'm going to try to sack off Conkeldurr. But I'm not actually going to do that, as he makes the switch into Landorus here. I believe to expect the Alolan Muck, which is a great play. And that's just giving me more chip and rock damage, but I'm going to just sack off Conkeldurr here. Conkeldurr isn't that useful at this point. As Scald, plus if he gets a burn with Empoleon, I'm going to Scald switch in with the rocks up. I believe Conkeldurr might go down. So I'm just going to sack off Conkeldurr here. It's not as useful this match based off what he's left, and I'm gonna go into Mega Latios here. Ice Beam definitely threatens this thing out. Psychic two-shots this, and Landorus it's not really capable of doing too much to Mega Latios. So he goes into Comfey here, as I believe I fire off the Psychic. Pretty much almost dead to Psychic here. I'm gonna go for a recover myself, as he goes for Synthesis. That's perfectly fine. I'm going to get up back to a higher amount of HP, and I'm going to fire off another Psychic here, as he makes an over prediction, think I'm going to go into Alolan Muck, and this is why defensive Comfey is not enough for Mega Latios, as Mega Latios is able to eat Draining Kisses, by the way, with this set, because he's not offensive, and Landorus gets two-shot here, as I'm going to fire off another Psychic, and this thing is pretty much dead. I fire off Ice Beam, never mind, just to make sure, as he goes for the Draining Kiss, and I'm just going to fire off the Psychic, as Draining Kiss doesn't do much. He does 25% to me, and that is a dead Comfey. Absolutely amazing. And now Infernape comes in, and I'm going to click Psychic because I had speed. He got Scarf knocked off. He was expecting, since I was a more bulky set, that I wouldn't be that speed invested, but I am invested enough to outspeed Infernape, and I'm going to click Psychic again, I believe, here. And that's a dead Thunderous. And now comes out I believe the Empoleon here, as pretty much just he's going to have to roar me out. I'm going to recover just to be in case. I want to make sure I'm high as health as possible against the Landorus. He roars me out into, I believe, Suicune. I'm just going to go for a Sleep Talk, I believe. Yeah, I'm going to go for a Sleep Talk, try to catch a Scald, but I believe we get Rest, which is alright, but we'll deal with it. He goes for another Roar and brings me out to Alolan Muck, and this is the time. I want to go for a knockoff here, get rid of whatever he has. He goes for Rocks. I don't know why. Maybe he expected the Muck to Rapid Spin, but you know he doesn't. That thing doesn't get Rapid Spin. I don't know. I go for the knockoff, take off the Sugar Berry, and we're going to pop off this Focus Punch right now as he tries to go for the Roar, and I'm going to take him out with Focus Punch before he gets even a chance to go for it. As now he goes into Landorus, I want to make the play into Mega Latios, try to save differential, plus Landorus, I'm able to eat 2 hits from it, as he goes into Landorus and goes for the Rock Polish here. So I believe I go for the Ice Beam here, just in case, as he goes for the Calm Mind, and this is Ice Beam's not going to... Ice Beam, even with the crit, I'm pretty sure would have taken it out. If not, I don't think... Landorus couldn't take me out anyway from there, as well as the fact that I do have Ice Shard pressure from Donphan. So it didn't... I don't think it mattered in the long game. I guess it mattered on damage per-wise from Mega Latios, but that's about it. As Mega Latios was actually a monster this match, and it got like 4 kills, I believe. So that's absolutely amazing. And... that we end up winning our week 1 against Mewsthebest. 4-0, absolutely amazing. I'm really hyped about it. So we are playing, I believe, Pesky Skitty next week, so that should be a really exciting match. He's a really good battler. We've had in the past, I've won one and lost one against him, so that should be a really good match. And he's got a really terrifying team. So thank you so much for all you guys for watching. And I'll see you guys next week in the next team builder. Until then, bash.